Hi everyone, it's Jules from Jules Sweet Creations. How are you? I know I've not been around at all for ages. Life happens, you know, things just got really busy. But I'm in the kitchen today. I'm making some filler flowers. Now I have been watching lots and lots of YouTube videos on how to do it. They always make it look super easy. So I thought, do you know what? Let's see if we can do it. So I am just going to literally go through, no editing or anything, because if you have looked at my other videos, you'll know I don't know how to edit things. I don't know how to do all that fancy YouTube stuff. So it's just, again, me and my phone and my desk. What you see is what you get. So I thought I would just go through what I've learned on these videos on how to make filler flowers. Now I have made a couple today. I'm not getting very far because they do look easy to make. There's one. Here you go. Let me see if I can do that fancy thing. There you go. They do look easy to make, but they're really fiddly to make. They can be really fiddly to make. Now I want every single one of these flowers to look perfect. I've made a couple. I'll just grab them off the little stand for you. There you go. I really want them, every single one of them, to look absolutely pristine. So I thought I would just stick my video on and show you what I've learned from other YouTubers. I can't remember all their channels. One is Cake Nation, absolutely brilliant. I love her tutorials. Stephanie, her name is. Another one is Cake by Lynn's. She does some beautiful tutorials, lovely flowers. I've learned a lot of my flower making from her, so check out their channels. And just a few others that I've come across, wedding cakes for you and things like that, where they obviously do wedding flowers, so they do a few videos on filler flowers and things like that. So here's me showing you what I've learned, and we can do this together. Okay, so first of all you need a tiny little ball of gum paste. Now you can get a size guide. I know oh, what's his name, Nicholas Lodge does a size guide, but I haven't got one. So it all depends on how small or how big you want your filler flowers to be. So I'm going for this tiny. It's about a pea size, a bit smaller than a pea. This is the smallest one that I've done so far. The others haven't been this small, so this will be interesting to see how small I can get it on camera. Okay, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. These things happen. We can just talk through why it went wrong and how we can correct it. Sometimes you just have to scrunch up the ball and start again. So be it. You know, it's not perfect. So here we go. So you've got your ball of fondant, and first thing you're going to do is roll it into a ball, and then you're going to pinch it and roll it into a tiny little cone between your fingers. Okay, so you've got, it doesn't have to be a real point, but you just want that tiny little egg shape. Okay, so you're just going to roll it into a cone. There, you can see it there, a bit like a bean with a pointed end. And then you're going to get I don't know what this tool is called. It's a little bit like a cone tool. I'll show you what a cone tool is. Hold on, bear with me. I saw it in my messy drawer, which I guess you can use. Okay, same sort of thing. It's got this little cone bit at the end. So I'm going to stick that in the middle, not the pointed end that you just made. Hold that in your fingers and then just press that in the middle. You don't want to go too far, but you want to go far enough so it'll balance on there. As I said, this is the smallest one that I've made so far. I'm very brave doing this one on camera. Don't make it easy for myself. I'm sorry you can't see my face. My face isn't important. This is the important bit. Okay, so you've got it on there like that. Now I'm doing 4-petal flowers, so I'm going to get my knife, or you can get this little knife tool that you get in most cake decorating kits. All right, I'm going to get my knife, or you can use your craft knife, whatever works best for you. Here's my craft knife. I've got everything, you know, on the table. Whatever best works for you. And you're just going to go around and make 4 slits. Try to even them out, space them out evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it is so much easier to do it while your gum paste is still on this tool. If you try to do it like holding it in your hand and slitting it or cutting it with the scissors, it will just you can distort the petals. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pull those little slits that I've made apart. I should have actually made this. Oh, there you go. I'm just going to pull those apart. You see, now I've got something that's starting to resemble a flower. So what I'm going to do with my thumb and my index finger, I'm going to pinch each petal very gently but firmly. Don't go too crazy with this, because it's so tiny. I don't know why I decided to start with such a tiny flower. Okay, so you're going to pinch, so you get something like that. And then again, with your index finger and your thumb, you're just going to pinch the ends in, not to like tap them. Tap the ends in so you get this rounded shape on the petal. Just tap them ever so slightly so the petals start to round a little bit. Okay. They're really fiddly little buggers they are. There you go. So I've rounded them off. So we've got the stem of our bud. I don't even know what these little flowers are called. Are they hydrangeas? Do hydrangeas have 5 petals? I'm really not sure. My daughter gave me a little bunch of flowers the other day when she picked them up on her way home from school. And they were little teeny tiny white buds like this, but I'm not really a flower person, so I don't really know what they're called. I think they're called gypsophilia, something like that. I don't know. If you know anything about flowers and you know what these teeny tiny white ones are called, please let me know, because I'm making them. If someone was to ask me, oh, what are those flowers, I will just have to admit it and say, I have no idea, they just look nice. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to show you, but I've got my little white flower now. And what I'm going to do, because my cell pad, my foam pad is actually white and the flower's white, so it's going to be a little bit hard for you to see. You can't even see that, can you? Unless I hold it right there. So I'm going to put my flower that way up, upside down, so the little stem is sticking up. I'm just going to get my ball tool and I'm just going to press on the back of each petal, so it just gives it a little curl and just flattens it out a bit more. Right, see that? You can use a bigger ball tool and flatten it out further, and that will thin the ends of each petal for you. All right, can you see that? Probably can't. My setup's really bad today. I do apologize. So it's opened it up like that, and now we have this little bud. We've got nice little thin petals. We've just gone over each one and pressed on each one of them. Okay, now we're going to get a little piece of wire with a teeny tiny hook on the end. Is my camera going to actually focus? No. There, you can just about see that little hook on the end. Now this, I believe, is something like 24 gauge wire. It's not a, is it? Could be 22 or 24, doesn't really matter. I think it's probably 22. This is 22 gauge wire, but I'm sure you can use 24, not an issue. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your wire. Now you can dip it in glue, but I find it just makes it a little bit too slippy slidey. So you don't have to dip it in glue or water or anything like that, but what you're going to do is you're going to get the end that hasn't got the hook on it, and you're just going to feed it right through the middle of your flower. Okay, and then you're going to bring the hook up right to the center of that flower, so you can just about see it, but it's not sticking up out of the top. And then you're going to very, very, very gently start to squeeze it to secure it. Now, keeping an eye on where that flower, where the wire is in the middle, because sometimes it can slip down, you're going to very gently get the flower stem in between your finger, your index finger and your thumb, and very, very gently start to turn it. And this will just seal off the bottom, but keep an eye on that center bit, because you don't want that hook to move. If it starts moving down, then your flower will just literally slide off. Okay, so keep an eye on where that thingy bit is. There you go. Now this is our excess bit, we don't need that, so that's come off, and now we are left with a beautiful little flower on a wire. You can then go in and just fiddle with those little petals if you want to. Make sure that's secure, make sure it's nice and neat. If it's not neat, you can get your craft knife and just run it very, very gently around the end. Trim off any excess that you don't want there. Oh, my flower's now deciding to slip off the wire. There you go. If it starts slipping off the wire, you can by all means just get a brush and put a little bit of glue on the wire and then try to attach it, but it will slip. Hopefully when I turn that upside down and it sets, that will stay on. What do you reckon? And there you go. There's my little wee flower. Now I've got to make loads of these. Usually you bunch them up in odd numbers, so 5, 7, and you make some buds as well. Here's a bud I made earlier. Oh, that's a 5-petal one. 4-petal bud. Here is a little bud I made earlier. So you'd kind of bunch them up with flowers and buds and tape them up. But I'm not onto that stage yet. When I get to that stage, when I've done loads and loads and I'm ready to do that, I might do another video for you on that. But so far, that's what I've learned. So I thought I'd share it with you. I hope it's helped. I'm so sorry that this little setup I've got today is absolutely awful. But I will try to come back and show you how to do the other little bits I've learned. But check out those other channels. They'll probably explain it a lot better than me. But there you go. A little filler flower for your cakes. Thanks for watching. Take care. I hope to be back with something else soon. And keep tuning in. Keep checking in. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.